Hey, what's up guys? It's Shelby Paget again with the KTM 150 build. We're taking a 2018 KTM 150 SX, and I'm going to be doing basically one mod every couple weeks, posting up kind of a before and after impression and a little bit of an overview of each part and component that we're putting on this thing. So right now the bike is in completely stock form. I've gotten quite a few hours on it playing around and getting situated with its stock settings. And now it's time to start putting some cool parts on it. For those of you that have a 2017 or 2018 KTM 2-stroke, you're probably aware that they do come stock with a Mikuni carburetor. Some people like these carburetors and they have a great experience with them, getting them fine-tuned, but majority of people seem to have some difficulty with them, including myself. I've had trouble with the Mikuni carbs, especially the TMX carb, since my 2002 CR250 even. So instead of going through all the finagling with the jets and the needle and trying to fine tune this thing, I've decided to go a better route with a little bit less stress and reach out to Lectron. And so they ended up shooting me over kind of a quick detail of what would take place to get this bike running perfectly. And it includes one of their 38mm high velocity carbs. And then in order to run their carburetor, the spacing is just a little bit different than stock with the Airboot and the throttle cable. So they provide the 150 XCW Airboot as well as the Domino throttle assembly and a cable that goes along with it so that everything fits just as it would stock. So the carburetor itself, what makes Lectron unique, and I have some history using them in the past which has been phenomenal, is they have a different setup. Instead of a main jet pilot and an idle set screw like you might find on a typical carburetor, they have what's called a metering rod. And the idea behind the metering rod is that it almost acts like a mechanical injection, basically measuring air density and fuel mixture depending on the rate at which air and fuel are being delivered to their carburetor. And it goes up and down this metering rod versus going through multiple circuits like a typical jet or a typical carburetor, and it allows the fuel to vaporize at a most efficient and effective way. Much more efficient than a standard carburetor that may be just slightly off in jetting. So applicably, the Lectron carburetor gives you better results in a wider range of conditions. Being on a 150, this is going to be crucial. So with the stock Mikuni carb, I've been having huge issues with roll-on. There's not much off the bottom. I've been playing with the pilot and the needle position in the carburetor with little improvement, but it's just not quite there. So with the Lectron, I'm hoping that we can kind of broaden the power, get a better snap and delivery right off the bottom for the 150, and just kind of maximize the power. All in all, what you see here on the table is everything that's required in the kit. So you've got Lectron's awesome 38mm high velocity carb. You can pick this up on their website for multiple models. For the KTM 150 SX for 17 and 18, the carburetor is $415 at retail. And then the Airboot here is off the 150 XCW. That's $60, also sold on their website. And then the throttle assembly from Domino is $39 on their website. And then the throttle cable, depending on which bike you have, I think they're all $35. So you can pick everything up, a one-stop shop on their website. David and Kevin are awesome folks that run a lot of the programs there in development over at Lectron. If you have any issues, I've had incredible support with them and communication. So they are going to be able to help you get your bike running exactly how it's intended with this superior carburetor, in my opinion, over some of the things that come stock on the bikes today. I'm going to go ahead and get to work installing this. And then you'll kind of get some ideas and some feedback on my first impressions, how it affected the bike after taking off the Mikuni and putting the Lectron on, as well as some POV footage of me out riding the bike so you can hear and see the difference for yourself. All right guys, so I got the carb installed. It took me about hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, mostly because I'm unfamiliar with the KTM plastics and how they all go in together. You do the Airboot first, then the carburetor swap, and then the throttle cable and throttle house. This is the first startup. I haven't even kicked it yet. I just turned the gas on The choke is on the right hand side right here, and so it's on. Let's go ahead and see how this thing does with a cold start with the Lectron 38 mil carb on it. We'll let it warm up for a couple minutes before I turn the choke off, and we'll go ahead and see how she sounds off the bottom. The bike's got a little bit of a blubber off the bottom, so I'm going to actually take the metering rod out and lean it out a quarter turn as suggested. I've already taken the 3 screws off the top. You don't have to remove the carb. So you have the metering rod pointing you. For me, I want to lean it out just a little bit, and I'm going to rotate the rod a quarter turn. Alright, so I just got back my first outing on the Lectron 38 millimeter high velocity carb, and it is as plug and play as it gets. They sent me the carburetor pre-tuned as they do with all their carburetors, and so I simply installed the carburetor, and I did adjust the metering rod to just lean out the bike a little bit based on my fuel mixture, and we went out to a local spot just to see how it felt, and I was honestly blown away. The bottom end on this is incredibly enhanced. You roll on, and absolutely the power delivery throughout the entire power band was drastically improved. So understand too that the Mikuni carb out of the box, I'm at about 3,000 feet of elevation as well, isn't the best set carb as is, and I really didn't put a lot of time in fine-tuning it over the last couple weeks of just getting the bike. But with the Lectron carb on there, the bike is a whole new beast. It's actually almost on par in areas as my old 13 YZ 250 two-stroke, meaning it's got some punch, and once it gets going, it's incredible. So I had a lot of fun with it. Front end was popping up all over the place, and I was in some deep sand areas. The berms were deep and the sand was a little bit deeper, and it really didn't weigh the bike down all that much at all. And I was able to get into the power band a lot quicker than I was before with the Mikuni. So I am super excited to go and try this thing out on the track and just kind of put it through the paces and see how it handles with the better power delivery that the Lectron gave. And we'll also see about fuel consumption over time too, and because they are supposed to provide some fuel efficiency as well. So I'm excited to try this thing out over the long haul, and I'm definitely impressed with the results we got with this bolt-on product. So if you have a 150 or maybe another 2-stroke or even a 4-stroke and you're having jetting issues, or you want to get the most power out of your bike, I highly suggest checking out their website, seeing if they have a fitment for your bike. Leave any questions or comments below with your experience with your Lectron carb, or maybe a different carb that you're having issues with, and I'll try and point you in the right direction. But all in all, A+ on this product. Keep it up, guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Subscribe.